Hello, my name is Erik Engelstad from DocuSign University. In this video, I will explain how to configure permissions for DocuSign Agreement Manager, the smart repository application provided as part of the DocuSign Intelligent Agreement Management platform in order to help you get started with the application. There are three general roles for people who use Agreement Manager. The first is the administrator role, which can be viewed as an extension of the traditional e-signature DS admin role, managing what level of Agreement Manager access is granted to users and groups within the account. Next, we have the contract reviewer, who is responsible for the detailed management of agreements and their attributes within Agreement Manager. Agreement Manager comes standard with an AI assist function that automatically reads and analyzes contract metadata. The contract reviewer typically checks and confirms the data analyzed by AI and can manually enter or modify metadata such as agreement types and agreement sets, designed to make it easier to locate and share contracts. And finally, we have the contract viewer, which refers to users who utilize Agreement Manager solely to view agreements as needed without managing user access or validating metadata. Now, where exactly in the tool can we configure these three roles? As an administrator of the account, I can assign Agreement Manager permissions in multiple ways. Let's have a look at how this can be done. Let's begin with permission profiles. Neither default permission profiles, DSAdmin, DSSender, or DSViewer include any Agreement Manager permissions, not even the DSAdmin profile. This means that you can grant Agreement Manager permissions independently of whether a user has the DSAdmin, DSSender, or DSViewer profile. You can nevertheless create a custom permission profile that includes one or several Agreement Manager permissions, as in this example where the View All Agreements in this account permission is toggled on. After granting this new custom permission profile to a user, it is still possible to grant other agreement permissions. However, what was set at the permission profile level is set in stone. To manage Agreement Manager permissions for the users in your account, click Users, then click on the Actions drop-down next to the user for whom you want to manage Agreement Manager access, and select Manage Agreement Manager Access. By default, all Agreement Manager permissions are disabled, unless of course the user has been assigned a custom permission profile that has one or several Agreement Manager permissions enabled. View All Agreements in this account allows users to view all agreements within the account. However, they cannot edit, download, or delete any agreements from Agreement Manager. Organize and Manage All Agreements grants the user the highest level of permission, allowing to view, edit, download, and delete agreements from Agreement Manager. This permission level also grants the right to manage agreement sets and attributes, such as agreement types and fields, and is necessary for a user executing tasks as a contract manager. Finally, the bulk upload files up to 1,000 files allows a user to upload up to 1,000 files at once to Agreement Manager instead of the default 5 files. Additionally, Agreement Manager permissions can be granted not just to individual users, but also to user groups. Similar to individual user settings, you can grant View All Agreements in this account and organize and manage all agreements to all users in the group at once. Please note that neither way of granting Agreement Manager permissions takes precedence over another. If a user is granted an Agreement Manager permission via a group, it is added to other permissions that might already have been granted at the individual level, and vice versa. Also, it's worth noting that the permission for bulk uploads can only be granted at the individual level. I hope you found this tutorial useful. Thank you for watching, everyone.